Hey, what's up, everybody? This video is part of a series of videos dealing with personal finances and personal budgeting. I'm going to put this same intro at the beginning of each video. So one, if you've already watched the intro, you can go ahead and skip to today's topic. Two, if you see my clothes change or the nice virtual background change, the reason will be because I recorded the rest of the video on a different day than I did this introductory video. So the point of this series is simply to do very quick, hopefully 2 to 5 minute videos where we discuss a lot of topics dealing with personal budgeting and personal finances. So I'm going to record all of these. I have probably over 20 ideas for these really short videos. I'm going to release one a day over the next 3 to 5 weeks. And if there's a topic that you want to hear about, please go ahead and post it in the comments. Maybe it's one that I have coming up, and then I'll release that one in the future. Or perhaps it's something that I haven't talked about or thought about on my list, and I can address that as I continue the series. So without any further comments, let's go ahead and jump into today's topic.
Today's video is why you need a buffer category, or maybe call it a slush fund or something. It's a bucket or an envelope within your budget that you do not ever spend money out of. It just kind of has money in it for you to transfer to other categories in case of overspending. So the last couple of days we have talked about what if you overspend a category, kind of on a rare occasion. Yesterday we talked about what if you're consistently overspending a category. And so go back and watch those videos. But you absolutely need a buffer or slush kind of envelope in your budget system in order to help you roll with those punches. I mentioned in one of those videos, YNAB has a rule and they call it roll with the punches. And so in order to be able to do that, to be able to move forward without it completely wrecking your budget, you need a little bit of buffer money there. And so what this looks like is, again, we're using an envelope system budget, right? We've got these buckets with money in it. And so we have a section of saving. We're saving for a future vacation, or we're saving to purchase a car, or we're saving for our emergency fund. These are categories that necessarily money accumulates in, but you're never spending out of those categories. You're not choosing them as an expense category when you actually spend money. You're not going to choose that particular emergency fund category when you spend money. You're going to simply subtract money out of the emergency fund and then put it into housing repair or vehicle repair. Wherever the emergency arose, that's where you're going to spend it out of. And you're just pulling money out of that bucket and putting it in the bucket you're actually spending it out of when it comes up. So this slush fund or this buffer category is another one of those. I call mine other holding or holding savings or something like that. It's got the word holding in it. I don't know why, but that's just what I call mine. And so, it might have a few $100s in it. And if a category is underspent one month, sometimes I kind of let that roll over because maybe next month I know it might be a little higher, or it's one that kind of fluctuates and I know I might need it in the future. But if there's some money left over at the end of the month, I might throw some into this other holding category to create a little bit of a buffer for myself. So this is basically a buffer in between your emergency fund and your regular spending, so that you don't have to tap that emergency fund for anything other than true emergencies. I mean, a true emergency is a large expense that you didn't see coming. You couldn't plan ahead for it, and you're going to need to tap into that emergency fund. This holding account allows you to leave that as a true emergency fund. So if you have $250 in this kind of slush fund, and you overspend your groceries by 50 and your gas by 25, no problem. You just take $50 out of this and move it to groceries to cover that overspending. You take 25 out of it and move it to the gas to cover that overspending. But it allows you to have a little bit of buffer, a little bit of breathing room to be able to cover some overspending in some categories. The way you build that up is you can either have, hey, I got an extra $10 a month that's not going towards like a specific expense or even a specific savings goal. And I'll just throw that into this kind of buffer category, knowing that something's going to happen month to month. And then also, if you have some money left over where you underspent a category, maybe you didn't eat out as much as you were planning on, or someone your family, your parents came into town and they ended up buying the groceries that week, so you didn't buy the groceries, or you went out on vacation with friends and you kind of split the groceries up, so you didn't spend as much this month on groceries as you normally do. You can move that underspending, that excess money at the end of the month, into this holding account. So There's ways to build this up little bits at a time. I mean, little bits at a time, but that then gives you the wiggle room to where you're not constantly stressed out about overspending categories because you have this wiggle room that you've built in that you can move to cover that overspending. So that's why, in my opinion, this holding account, this kind of slush fund, buffer category is essential to being able to stick with this on the long term without it, really morally kind of bringing your not morally, but really bringing your morale down and causing you to drop it all together. This will go a long way in helping you stay satisfied and continuing to budget for the long term.
My name is Brad. I'm with Wooten CPA. My goal is to bring peace to your tax and accounting responsibilities. One of the ways I do that is through these videos here on YouTube. Please like this video, share this video for others to see, and subscribe to the channel if you would. That way you're also notified when new videos come out. There will be over 20 in this series of personal finance and personal budgeting that I'm going to try to keep in that 2 to 5 minute window, so they'll be easy to digest for you. Hopefully that they are helpful for you, and I appreciate you watching the videos.